Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. And as you can see, we are in Burns, Oregon. We've picked up this bulldozer front loader beast, and we're heading to a brand new city we haven't been to yet. We'll be going along the 20 up to Bend, and then we are going down South 97, and this is an interesting exchange for sure. We're going to come up here, get on the overpass, come down the overpass, and it looks like going back the way we came just for a skosh, and then end up on Highway 97 all the way down to Klamath Falls. That's where we're heading. So 234 miles, a 4-hour journey. Highway 20 we've seen before, but once we get on that Highway 90, we should be all set. So without further ado, let's put this thing in gear and let's get to it. We'll take her out nice and easy. We're in a interesting sort of dirt road situation here. Let's get a nice wide arc to get out of here. Looks like this is a heavy construction zone, maybe some apartments or something being put up, but a lot of heavy work, and they don't need this equipment anymore, so we will oblige them and take it off their hands for them. And then out on the open road, well, not on the open road, the open gravel, I assume, since this is certainly a dirt road far off the beaten path. We've got like a little switchback here. We'll keep the revs up and the speed low to climb. All right. Now, I came down the right road there, not as in the correct road, but I came down the right road. So we've got both of those little entryways seen. Now all we have to do is cross traffic here and head back to Burns. Now, this might be a skosh interesting, considering how we're pretty heavy. And it looks like traffic is coming to the left, but after this Kenworth right here, we should be able to pop out. Let's roll. Now we've got a little bit of traffic coming up here. If we make our presence known, you guys gonna stop? Peterbilt? Nice, thank you. We sort of forced our way in there, but you know what? It's our road too. So let's get going. 35 miles an hour is the speed limit, and we will head sort of back the way we came. I believe we've seen this road before, but it's an interesting town at night. It's 4:13 in the morning, so the sun should be coming up shortly, and by the time we get to the new roads, the sun should be up in full. But we've got a nice little intersection here and a gas station there that we haven't seen before. Yeah, just this this hauler with the Oregon license plate on it. Really, really cool. Oh, geez. Okay. I don't believe I was too far forward across the line. I may have been, but luckily we didn't get damage penalty or anything like that from having our nose cut off like that, but an interesting way to start the episode. There we go, back up to speed, and Bob is your uncle. And we'll go ahead and set the cruise for 35 and get out of town. Now, I believe we're going to be making a right turn out of here, but it looks like the road stays 2-lane all the way through town, so we won't have to be in the right lane as quickly. Guess we could skosh on over, though, like so. And Taylor looked to be that way. Of course, we can't go to Taylor. That's not one of the towns that is open to us, but passing through Burns here, and we should get on the open road pretty soon. So thank you for joining me for another episode of American Truck Simulator. Still enjoying the series, and we have just a scant few cities to see, and then we might sightsee some of the scenic roads. And of course, there are some achievements to get, as well as the brand new special transport DLC that I'll definitely get once we are done sightseeing in Oregon. Adding that extra bit of a challenge with a police escort would be pretty cool. So yeah, 45, sun is coming up behind us, rising in the east, and we're going westbound. Sun should be on our left as we head down the highway. Driver's still doing the work. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts have been for this series. Have you enjoyed it? Enjoyed the sightseeing, you know? If you don't own American Simulator, would this encourage you to do so? You know, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. I have been really enjoying it for sure. And it's good to get back and playing some games in the real world. I've been working my tail off, nearly 60-hour work weeks for the last like 3 weeks, so it's tough to sit down and record some videos. I've got maybe 4 or 5 hours now before I have to think about heading to bed and starting at 2 tomorrow morning. You know, it's just short manpower at a 24/7, 365 job where there has to be 2 people there literally at all times. Rain, shine, snow, sleet, doesn't matter. There will always be 2 people there. And it's really taxing when you lose a quarter of your crew in a day. It puts a strain on everybody. I'm not the only one suffering by any means. I'm one of the few. So it's good to sit down and get some American Truck in, see some new stuff. We'll be recording Motorsport Manager here soon, then Europa Universalis. As far as this Thursday goes, I've got an idea for a video, and I'm going to have to see how it works out as far as editing time and whatnot, because it's going to be, it's not going to be a let's play. It's not going to be gameplay, you know, I play the game and talk. It'll be more of a dive into what makes Assassin's Creed an epic, or is it an epic? And I'm going to explore that question. I have an English degree, so Greek epics, you know, we're sort of my forte. I read, you know, my fair share in college, so after playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey to its conclusion, I do have some thoughts comparing the two. So if that interests you, feel free to tune in on Thursday as the NASCAR Racing 2003 season has come to a close for 2018. Looking forward to getting into 2019 for sure. New drivers, new sponsors, new cars. The Mustang is going to... Okay, where was that cop? I want to know. He was probably right behind me, knowing this game, but I am not going to slow down to 45 for all of 10 feet. Not when we have 713 grand just sitting in the bank. But yeah, really fun race at Miami. If you haven't seen the last episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season and were curious how the championship ended, I highly recommend watching it. It was a better race than last year, for sure, as far as the actual racing is concerned. 2019, though, really excited for that. They're changing Sonoma Raceway, or, you know, what used to be Infineon, what used to be Sears Point. It's going to become what it was back in the 90s. Sears Point had the carousel, and here recently, since I think 2002, 2001, they've been skipping the carousel section of the racetrack and just going straight to where the carousel meets up with the track. But next year, they're going to be including the carousel, so looking forward to see if that track is available. I'm pretty sure it is, as that was a pretty iconic track, and in the 90s, that was how they raced, so that's not going to be as difficult to find, I don't think, as, say, the Roval was. And by October of next year, if the Cup goes back to the oval at Charlotte Motor Speedway, I'm pretty sure the track makers would have ironed out the Roval and got it looking really good. Plus, those Mustangs are coming. You know, I'm excited to see Cup Mustangs, and, you know, anything that NASCAR can do to spread its identity. And when you think, you know, racing and stock cars that people can afford, you know, Chevy versus Ford, Camaro versus Mustang is a classic battle. It'll be good to see that back on the track. But we got until February to wait for that. So Thursdays, you know, I was I was playing with the idea of Hearts of Iron 3. Also, Crusader Kings 2 Holy Fury came out. And not only does it revamp the Crusades and sort of the religious aspect of the gameplay, but allows for animal cultures. And you're like, animal cultures, what is that? Think about kings. Excuse me. Think about like King Bear or like the Jungle Book. If the Jungle Book was a feudal, or it doesn't even have to be feudal, but if the Jungle Book was real in Europe in 1066, that's the gameplay, and it's really an interesting idea and would add some spice and flavor, I think, to a Crusader Kings playthrough. So I might do a few episodes of that. Hello, light. Luckily, the light is far enough away that I can actually see what's going on. Speaking of seeing what's going on, the sun is coming up. We can get a good look of the mutt front loader, not the cat, but the mutt. And I imagine we wouldn't be too far away from turning on that highway. We'll actually get on, what was that, Highway 90 north? Because there is no interchange to go south. So we're going to get on it north until the first opportunity to go south, then we'll basically just hop on the overpass, do a U-turn, and come back the way we came, all the way to Klamath Falls. An interesting route. I don't know if that was the best route, but I'll stick with the game and its recommended GPS. You know, the game, I would say knows best most of the time, but, you know, sometimes it doesn't. But it does allow us to see something new, and that's what this series is all about. All right, there we go, to Highway 97. I believe that's where we're heading to. Looks like it's going to be an interesting interchange here. We're going to be making a right, then a very hard left. I don't know if that is going to be exactly legal. Come on, buddy. Right turning on red. All right, we'll just pass this Tesla dealer, and there we go. You can sort of see how we're getting on the highway, and the GPS is drawing a line right beside it. We're going to have to cut over the highway and come back down. To the Dalles. I guess that's us? I mean, it does sort of seem like we're making a right turn. And it is technically north, so, okay, exit 35. We'll take it. And then the overpass that we need to get on is the next exit, past Bend. And ironically enough, Bend is where, I believe Bend was where we left off at the last episode. And I actually had to drive all the way to where we just were to pick up this load to get to Klamath Falls, because nothing was going that way. Only 3 loads in the entire game were going where we wanted to go. And thankfully there was enough time left on the load for me to get down there in time. Hopefully we'll make this light here. Yeah, plenty of time. Take it nice and wide, and then another left turn to go back the way we came. Nice and easy. Luckily, we didn't have to go too far out of our way here. All right, let's see if we can hammer down here. Get back up to speed and get down to Klamath Falls, and this is the highway that we'll be on the rest of the way. Seeing something new, and it looks like a 45 through here. Maybe because we're on the outskirts of Bend, but yep, 6:30 in the morning, seeing some new stuff. Sun is rising. Down by the Supreme. Nice stoplight. Sweet. So yeah, pretty nice drive. No rain, no crazy drivers or anything like that. Well, Aside from the semi that decided to take our nose off, but no worse for the wear. Just kind of wish this speed limit was a little bit higher, but gives us some time to look around here. That's an interesting building. It almost looks like you could climb up the side of it with those accent marks. Oh, nice neighborhood down there. We can't actually get down there to that neighborhood. It just sells the illusion that the people live right next to the highway. Oh, a little kink in the road apparently. Good thing I was actually paying attention this time. Interesting industrial area there. All right, let's get back in the cockpit before I screw it up. Now, it looked like on the, nice, 55. It looked like on the map, Klamath Falls is going to be pretty small. Almost like a drive-in, drive-through town on the way to California, if that's where your load was going. All right, right lane is ending. We'll go ahead and merge then. We're crossing a river or a road, or neither. Probably a logging road. We could go on that. There's the turn right there. It would be really tough to get 100% roads with all those little turnoffs and everything, but that's something we can do when we grab a car and not have to be restricted to the restraints of a time limit. Yeah, in our series this week and for the weeks to follow, we're starting a brand new season in Motorsport Manager. The first race will be the day after this video goes live in Season 9. Thinking we have a pretty decent shot at the championship. You know, racing is racing, and you can't factor every single thing, but I think we got a good shot at it. Europa Universalis 4, still working on colonies. And becoming the Holy Roman Empire was definitely a surprising thing. Hello, bear. Tried to see the bear over there. Interesting fuel stop. This does feel like the middle of nowhere. It's like if you run out of gas, this is your last chance to fill up. 60? We can do 60. Oh, nice train. But enjoying Europa Universalis still. Hopefully we'll be able to convert the save to Victoria 2 and continue the mega campaign. A lot of smart modders out there that can get the job done. I just hope I have a game version that is compatible, or their latest mod is compatible with my version. And yeah, Thursday, once I get that Assassin's Creed video posted, I'll have a week to sort of think about what I want to do for Thursdays. And I might alternate, or I might try one-off games. You know, see how Wreckfest is doing after all this time. Maybe a Project Cars 2 video. You know, just sort of fill the gaps. Maybe it might even be a rambling series, or like a gaming, a chat about gaming like Sokka Speaks On was. If you've been on the channel a long time, you might remember me. My first Sokka Speaks On video was No Man's Sky, and how I was looking forward to it for sure. It was back when the hype train was in full swing before that fateful release. But yeah, something like that might be really cool. And then Friday's Kingdom Come might be coming to an end in a few weeks' time. We're working still on the DLC, so then I need a Friday spot. What in the world was that? Now, I don't know if that was shadows or what, but that looked like a cow, and it looked like it was sick. Not sick like, whoa, dude, that was sick, but sick like vomit all over yourself sick. Couple big rest areas here, and a couple of interesting looking access roads, almost like a one-laner coming up. I wonder if those are dirt. And that is to Crater Lake. Oh, man. So Crater Lake is that way, huh? I'm gonna have to remember that. I imagine sightseeing Crater Lake would be pretty cool to see. Yeah, those train tracks remind me of Train Sim. I used to play a lot of Train Simulator. Oh man, I guess it would have been 3 or 4 years ago when I played Train Sim. The Combine actually reminds me though that Farming Sim 2019 is coming out in a scant few days. I'm definitely going to pick it up. Whether or not I could do a series on it is a big question. There are a lot of people who absolutely love Farming Sim and they want to see it done. Oh, nice, we can bypass. They absolutely love Farming Sim, so if they see someone who isn't doing it the way they do it on their actual farm, they get pretty mad and butthurt. And I don't need that in my life. I don't need people criticizing the way I play when I'm just trying to have fun and relax, especially after the last few weeks. But still looking forward to Farming Sim nonetheless, even if I don't upload it. Really looking forward to it. It's one of those games like this one where you just put it on and you can just relax. You chill, you hook up your steering wheel. There's Klamath Falls, the sign. Are we entering the city limits? Are we going to get credit? Not yet, but it's coming. There we go. 12 out of 14 on the Beaver State. And we're passing these gas stations pretty quick. Massive truck stop back there to our left. Looks like we're sort of staying on the highway here. And there's going to be a right turn. All right, let's slow her down just a skosh. So that is to Redding, California, which I bet that's an interesting drive. All right, let's slow her up here. We'll be following that bobtail where he turned off. Sweet. Now this road, up and down and around. Could you imagine if this road got icy? I don't think you could get back up that hill. Or imagine if you had one of those heavy loads that you were dropping off here. I know the heavy loads aren't scripted to go through sort of difficult roads, but you could make it. And that would have been an interesting road to go up for sure. Oh, nice police station and garage. I wonder if Klamath Falls is the site of the Oregon State Police. The way that building looked, it almost looked like that was going to be the case. Is that a crashed Cessna? A freaking plane went through the side of their business. All right, Avalanche Steel. So it looks like these guys, this excavator is either broken or they're going to need it to scoop up some stuff. Hopefully this thing isn't broken and they're just going to scrap it all. All right, past the guard shack here, well, the scales. We don't have to weigh as we come in, but scrap being weighed brings back some memories. At work, there was a building that was torn down and every bit of scrap was weighed before it left our site. So seeing the scales at the plant here definitely brings back some memories. Okay. So let's see if we can pivot this thing over to the right just a scotch. As our drop-off is behind us. All right, let's see if we can round this turn. We kind of got boxed in. Oh, nice. Excavator working the magnet. Reminds me of Brave Little Toaster. All right, so now the big question is, which way is beneficial to pull in? We can either back it in that way, or it looks like we have a little bit of an access road over here that we might be able to pull in straight as an arrow. And that would definitely be handy. Okay, there we are. And yeah, the front of the truck needs to be on the left, so approaching it this way might make our job pretty easy. We do have to go over these scales though, or this lift. And then cut the wheel there in the garbage. See if we can round it nice and sharp here. But this is a pretty solid entry. I mean, all we got to do is something like that, and we can wheel her right in. All right, there we go. We'll straighten her out. And I really can't see the back of this thing. There we go. And that'll be nice, like a glove even. As we slam our truck into something that I'm not looking at on the other side. I tell you, that stack is inconvenient, but we got her done. Turn the hazards off, we won't need them anymore. 236 miles, 4 hours and 50 minutes, 34 gallons of fuel. Nice, so that is one more city found. We've got Klamath Falls on the map. So, we might get something to Medford, which would be awkward because we'd have to go down south to 97, then back up through Hornbrook to get to Medford. We also have Eugene that we haven't seen, so those are the two big cities, Medford and Eugene. So at least 2 more episodes of American Truck Sim for sure. Then definitely a sightseeing one where we head down Coos Bay, down to Eureka, or Eureka up to Coos Bay, either one. So a few more weeks of American Truck before the heavy haul, or the special delivery rather. But that is going to do it for me in this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next American Truck Simulator video. Take care.